try to put, eyes are clear, eyes are man. I gotta be serious. Start studying, man.
Oh, really?
Fine. Okay.
Hey, my name is Alma, and welcome to The Table. Here, The Table is a platform where we sit down with different people I admire in the community. We sit down and have open discussions about lifestyles, ideas, concepts, goals, everything. So with no further ado, we're going to welcome my first guest in history of the show. So, anywho, no further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my guy, Shon, the Drink Slinger Harris.
How you doing?
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, not a problem, man. I love what you're doing. When you told me about it, I was excited. Ain't no way I was gonna tell you no.
You know what? I am so honored, very honored. These are humble grounds I walk amongst when I'm with the Shon Harris.
But don't do that. Hey, ain't nothing special about me. I'm just a regular cat.
That's what they say.
Don't give me too much credit now. I disappoint you in 30 minutes.
No, we don't want to do that. Anywho, we gonna jump into it. So, we in COVID-19. How you been getting through these days? What's been going on?
Honestly, my life didn't much change during COVID-19. I left corporate America in March of 19. So on a day-to-day basis, when I wake up, I come downstairs, pick a cup of coffee, and come to the backyard and smoke a cigar and drink my coffee.
Hey.
So when the shelter-in-place hit, I was already sheltering in place. On a day-to-day basis, I don't do much.
That is awesome. Well, just how about has things changed with you being a owner of Good Spirits? Go on and tell us what Good Spirits is first.
Good Spirits is a mobile bartending service. We provide professional bartenders for events, parties, and functions, private events mostly, wedding receptions, political fundraisers, corporate events, things of that nature.
So with that, with us being in COVID and everything, I know you had to possibly cancel a lot of occasions and things of that nature. As being an entrepreneur, what are the pros and cons of it that you...
Yeah, we lost a lot of gigs, but moving forward, we're looking forward to just incorporating some of the things that the CDC addressed out of Atlanta, Mississippi's own health department. There are some new guidelines that we must follow, just like the restaurants and the bars within the community.
Correct.
And we got to move forward through it.
Okay.
So, the losing of the gigs was, maybe a financial woe, but we're looking forward to it getting greater later.
Hey, but speaking of being greater later, I like my research and stuff. I like to get into it. Of people I think are considered GOATs, greatest of all time. Shout out to B.G.O.A.T today. Do that.
B.G.O.A.T, that's your tagline. Tell me about B.G.O.A.T.
B.G.O.A.T is something that, popped up in my spirit years ago. And Muhammad Ali is one of my favorites when I think of the term GOAT, because he strongly insisted on that. And that was, you think of a GOAT, that's when the first people come to mind.
Yeah.
So with that, I believe in to be the greatest of all time, you have to do it daily.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest of all time. Ain't nobody gonna beat me. When I'm in my 50s, you might have a chance.
You might have a chance.
He said that.
You see Mike Tyson in his 50s, I don't even want to fight him. I seen that
Tyson gonna
video.
hurt somebody.
Listen, Tyson, you can have them hands out. You keep them. But I just believe in to achieve the GOATness level, I like to call it.
Yeah.
You have to do it every day. So when I say be GOAT today, you got to practice, do it.
Yeah, success isn't owned, it's rented. And rent is due every day.
Every day. I like that. So,
I read that somewhere. That's not a Shon Harris original.
It ain't?
No, that's not a Shon Harris original.
Shout out to whoever, created that line.
One time for Anonymous.
Hey, shout out. So, let's dive into I like to say the GOATness of people. So with you being this owner of this company, getting the title of Drink Slinger, please enlighten us on that.
Well, I do take pride in my nickname because it's not a self-given nickname. other people started calling me Drink Slinger.
Okay.
And it was just based on the professionalism that I execute when I'm behind the wood. Speed, accuracy, no remakes, no sendbacks, excellent customer service, paying attention to when the glass level get low, go ahead and initiate a refill. If they on their third one or better, you ask them if they would want one or something like that. Just being attentive.
Attentive. That
And
is a good
yeah,
word, keyword to
yeah,
use.
working, doing the job earned me this nickname. It's so much I even have it on my arm. I don't know if
see.
you've ever seen that.
I have.
Okay.
I think it's awesome.
Okay. Thank you kindly.
And speaking of these drink slinging you've been doing, a little birdie told me, one time you did like 3,000 drinks in a night.
That's accurate. That's accurate. When I was in Houston, Texas, I worked a bar that had dollar well drinks.
Okay.
And at the end of the night, I turned in $3,200. That means that I made 3,200 drinks in 6 hours. That's the speed I was talking about.
3,200.
I'm pretty good. I don't look like much, but I'm useful.
Listen, they say can't judge a book by its cover.
Like in true man form, I'm utilitarian. I'm good for reaching up high, carrying heavy shit, and opening pickle jars.
Well, if that's all it takes to, sling drinks like you do, I might need to sign up. Or is it more complex?
It's more complex. I just make it look easy.
Okay then. When did you get your start with bartending?
1999. I can honestly say I've been bartending since the 90s, and I can honestly say I've been bartending 20 years. I've made the threshold. I'm damn near retirement age. if we count years,
Years?
you work a job, what they say 25 years, you can retire. No matter how old you are.
Well, you got about 5 more.
Yeah, that's close though.
That is close.
Yeah,
And
I'm downhill.
You plan on retiring in 5 years?
I will not retire in 5 years, but I will remove myself from the physical workload, and I want to focus on just running the company.
Do you wish to expand outside of? Wait, I know you just don't only do Mississippi. Where else are you able to work with?
Good Spirits operates in Mississippi, Tennessee, and Louisiana.
So do you plan on expanding outside of those?
It would be a wonderful idea. It is a wonderful idea. I'm not going to expand faster than I can handle the workload.
Okay.
So being able to facilitate with the same standard of excellence that we uphold now will let me know if I can move into Texas or possibly Georgia or Florida. I'm not going to go prematurely just because I want to.
Okay. So another good question. What made you pursue it full time of creating your own company?
Well, ever since college, I've always wanted to own my own business. And like most people, I sought out businesses based on the dollar amount. Like some people go to school to be a lawyer because they make good money. Some people go to school to be a doctor because they make good money. But your passion is really building dog houses. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what I did with Good Spirits was I took something that was in alignment with what I've always done and turned it into a business. We just explained, I've been bartending since the 90s. So I'm not a guy that's been bartending since the 90s. Now all of a sudden I want to open up an insurance company. My skill set is within bartending, and I stayed in bartending, and I put the plan together and I executed it.
Say less. Say less.
And then don't make it sound as easy as it was. I done bumped my head a bunch of times.
Listen, they say that one of the keys to success is failing.
Yeah. It's time for me to be successful because I done made every mistake you could make. I done failed enough times. The success is the only thing left.
Success. Listen, my mom used to tell me when you're flat on your back, there's only one way to look, and that's up.
Yeah.
So hey, you got to keep pushing forward. So you've been in business 20 years.
No, I've been bartending 20 business. Good Spirits is 9 years old.
9 years old.
Good Spirits bartending service.
We almost at a decade.
Yeah.
We doing anything major?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna keep that under wraps though.
Listen, I'm waiting on my invite.
Well, so here's the thing. This is the issue with the doing it big. Because I will have been in business 10 years, there are so many people that I want to invite that it's just gonna be like a extravaganza. Like I don't even know how to control it yet. You gotta think for the last 3 years, I know we've done at least 45, 46 events a year. So, when you talk about wedding receptions, that's two people. That's bride and groom. And then you talk about the fraternity parties and, the events I've done for Century 21, Mississippi chapter of the AARP, Mississippi Association of General Contractors. Like they come in 12 deep by themselves. So, I don't want to run out of meatballs.
Well, 10 years is approaching soon. You got a little over a year, so now it's time to be planning.
Yeah, we're going to get it
we
together.
might need an extravaganza, especially after COVID-19, because I can't keep surviving off of whiskey. By the way.
Yeah. You like that shirt?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, and I'm ready for an extravaganza, so.
I put a lot of thought in that shirt.
Listen, when I hit him up to do this, he was like, on the one occasion, you gotta wear the shirt. I said, cool. That's the only way I've been surviving COVID. Do you hear me?
Speaking of whiskey,
we're on our single beer today, and it was, how else can we commemorate this type of episode? You have to drink.
where you get this single barrel from?
I fooled that Jack Daniels, Gotta shout my boy out, Larry Leggett,
I knew that. I just wanted you to say it.
You just want me to say his name?
Yeah, Larry cool. Like Larry deserved it.
He alright.
Larry deserved it. And that's what he do for a living. Like I ain't want you to call his name out just because you know him. That's what he do for a living.
That's what he do.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, we're going to jump into one of my favorite segments. We're going to do 21 questions, Jackson style.
Okay.
So we're going to... Jew-liberty. What's a Jew-liberty? I want to break it down.
I'm a Jacktown Jew, and I'll go all four sides. North, south, east, and west.
North, south, east, and west.
Ain't nowhere I can go.
Nowhere. Well, we going to learn today what you know about
Boulevard
Jackson.
and Flag Chapel. I hop out, leave my car running. Ain't nobody going to mess with it.
You ain't talking about the Queens, is you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Shout out to out west. Well, I have the honor of knowing both, all the sides. I can't say both. But I know a little bit about Jackson. They say I'm a Jew now. Because I've been here.
How long you been here?
07.
07. Well, that's 13, huh? And you originally from Chicago?
Originally.
Okay.
They say I'm a Jew now.
You came down here to go to Jackson State and just never went home? I'm asking.
Y'all, he know how I feel about that. Because he know I am a Tougaloo.
Tougaloo, what is it?
500 West County Line Road.
Never heard of it.
I expect you could. You went to Jackson State. Anywho, moving forward, we're going to answer these questions. If you do not want to answer, you have to take a sip.
Oh, I'm with all that.
I'm going to take a sip before we get started. Just get started. The single beer. And also, we are drinking our drinks neat today. Fun tip. What is neat again?
No ice, no mixer.
No ice, no mixer. Listen, I've been learning all types of tips over here. I'm going to go to the bar tonight just to practice what I've been learning.
Don't do it. It's too early.
Too early?
It's too early.
I ain't going to smack the counter or nothing.
You're going to catch that Rona.
Oh, you right.
Yeah, just because it's open back up don't mean you should go.
So I got to wait a few more months to practice my tips.
Few more weeks. Patience, grasshopper.
I just been waiting.
Hey, look. Don't die trying to tell a motherfucker you know what neat means.
I'm ready. Anywho, we're going to jump this off. So we know your name. How old are you, Shon?
41.
41. Married?
No. Never been married, no kids.
No kids? Do we want kids?
No.
Said that confidently.
Well, I ain't have to think about it. I already know the answer.
Well, we know you born and bred in Jackson. What's your favorite place to eat in Jackson?
Outside of my own grill, I would have to go with Johnny T's. And in another interview, I mentioned Johnny Cheese, and off camera, the guy was like, "That's your homeboy." I don't know stats. You know what I'm saying? I know him professionally.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I don't know his middle name. I don't know how many kids he got. I don't know his birthday. We ain't never been spade partners. We don't drink out the same bottle. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been to his fish fries. Like I don't know him. I just respect the establishment.
Okay then.
I mean, I know him because I know him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we both from the same city. I don't know him personally.
It is a thing of knowing someone and knowing the episode.
Yeah, yeah, I know of him
Okay,
through
then.
name and reputation.
Like how you broke the down. What's your so that's your favorite food to eat? You have a favorite artist out of Jackson?
Coke Boomaye, street fame game, all day long.
Relentless.
Yeah, I don't even gotta think about that. Like, out, if we talking about out the Jack, Coke Boomaye.
Relentless.
I'm a Coke Boomaye fan.
Hey,
Like,
I fool with Coke. Man.
yeah, but like, yeah, but I want to go for clarity. Like, I don't fool with Coke. I'm a Coke Boomaye fan. Like, I say
You hear that Coke?
I say that shit on 106 and Paul.
You hear that Coke? Hey, Coke do have them bars.
Hey, Coke jamming.
He jamming. He jamming. He is my top 5. If I got top 5 out of Jack,
Well, you know what?
he
I
is.
got a couple that I like, but I'm not gonna disrespect Coke's answer because you asked me who was the best. We ain't gonna talk about them other jokes.
We gonna keep going. We gonna keep
yeah,
going. We
yeah,
gonna keep
you asked me
going.
who was my favorite.
What's your favorite childhood being from Jackson? Memory, I mean. What's your favorite childhood?
Dude, this is gonna sound so lame, but I grew up in the Shady Oaks community. Utah Street raised me.
Okay.
Yeah, I went Dawson, Firewell, Callaway, right off Utah Street. And I remember as a kid, when my mom and dad used to take me and my little brother to the reservoir.
Okay.
As a kid, I remember thinking the reservoir was far. You know what I'm saying? Like we going somewhere. Like mama, can we go to the reservoir this weekend? Boy, no, sit your head down. You know what I'm saying? But when we did go, and you know, we had family reunions out there, and they set the volleyball net up, and you know, your uncle and them be grilling, and your aunties be like, "Come on, dance with me. Let me show you how to dance, so in case you meet your little pretty girl or something." Some of my favorite memories here in Jackson is going to the reservoir. And I remember when, third, fifth, ninth grade, I thought that was a big deal.
It still is to some people, but I can understand the reservoir.
Well,
Reservoir.
I'm an adult now. I live around the corner from the reservoir. I can throw a rock in the reservoir. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I enjoy the reservoir. That was one of my first introductions of being in Mississippi. They was like, you gotta go check out the reservoir. When I went, I was like, this is
what was
cool.
his name? It was a boy told you that. Ain't no girl told no other girl. You know what we have here that's really really popping? The reservoir. It was some dude that had you in his car isolated. There wasn't none of your girlfriends around. And he was like, "Come on, go with me. Let me show you that wall." Tell it now. Come on, tell it. Yeah, hey, you done asked me 15 questions. What was the name?
I can't tell you all that. I can't.
Oh, this is one of them. One of them interviews. Okay,
Maybe.
continue. I ain't mean to
And
interrupt
then
your
said
flow.
we can't answer. You know, I
I
go
ain't
and
mean to interrupt your flow.
He was cool. But my only question at the time was, why is the water brown? I always ask that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I like the reservoir. I've gone kayaking at the reservoir. I utilize it for everything but getting in. I will say that.
Yeah.
I look at it all day. But, I mean, those dates at the reservoir, I like the reservoir. They were some of the best dates.
We used to cut class and go to the reservoir and barbecue.
I would have done that if I was grew up
Yeah.
here.
Well, I mean, we had enough money to get some hot dogs and, a little reefer and, a bottle of Bacardi Gold.
That's what y'all drank in high school?
Well,
I'm asking.
we were drinking affordability. A fifth of Bacardi Gold is only $12.
I'm not knocking it.
No, I'm
We
just
drunk
answering.
Seagrams.
I'm just answering. A fifth of Smirnoff is $12. You know what I'm saying? Like, only time we drank Hennessy is when we stole it from our parents.
At least you was able to steal some Hennessy from
Yeah.
your parents. We had to scrounge your buddy to drink Seagrams. Great. I mean, we drunk Seagrams blue,
Bumpy face.
black, and green apple. And then I remember for graduation, we all put our money together and got a gallon of goose. You could not tell us nothing.
Yeah, I was big shit then.
Boy, you crazy. Anywho, we're gonna move forward to the next question.
Okay.
What you do on for fun in Jackson?
Smoke cigars, drink bourbon and scotch.
You got a favorite cigar shop?
I'm partial to Havana Tranquility, well, formerly Havana Tranquility is now known as the Ash Room, because that's where my friends are.
Okay.
Now, I like the Country Squire for their selection. I have friends at Churchill, and they also have a decent selection. So I frequent all of the shops.
Okay.
But if you were to ask me which one do I migrate to the most, it would be the Ash Room, and that's just because that's where my buddies are.
What's your favorite type of cigar?
I don't have a favorite cigar, and not to be cryptic or too lengthy, I smoke my cigars depending on my mood. So I don't have a favorite cigar because depending on how I feel is what I smoke.
Okay.
And I don't always feel the same way.
What's the best newbie type of cigar you would recommend?
Most of us started off on Perdomo champagnes, Monte Cristo whites. What I'm naming now are what is known as mild cigars, or you might hear someone use the term morning stick, and that just basically means that it's mild. For someone who's like myself, who's an avid cigar smoker, I smoke 2 to 4 cigars a day.
Okay.
So morning cigar refers to something mild and where I can stage smoke and get stronger and stronger throughout the day. If I started with a, double Lajero DL700, I'm not going to taste any cigar I smoke behind it because it's so strong.
Okay.
It's going to tear your palate up. So most of us started on Perdomos and, Monte Cristo whites, things of that nature. Joya de Nicaragua, anything that's mild.
Anything that's mild.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin the cigar smoking experience for a guy or a gal their first time. Like, say you've never had a cigar before, and I give you a Partagas Black. You're going to think that all cigars taste like a Partagas Black, and you're going to be like, nah, I don't want to do this no more. But I gave you something that was too pungent for your palate. You see what I'm saying? You haven't made it to Gurkha Ghost yet, and, Drew Estate number 9, Liga Privados.
Okay.
So, it's kind of like, if the first time you had chicken, somebody burnt it, and you thought that's what chicken tastes like, you'll never eat it again.
Got a point. Got a point.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, we always, recommend people start, with something mild.
I like a good cigar here and there. Lately, I've been on those acid. I like acid.
And within the Ash Room, I've been shot consigliere for about 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the, a lot of people like their cigar with their wine. With their liqueur. I'm going to say liqueur. Whiskey, bourbon, or however, because I know some people may drink it with vodka or something. But what is the the balance between the two? What makes those two things good together?
It's kind of like pairing food with wine or pairing food with beer. The cigars act the same way. If I got a full-bodied cigar, I might want something mild and sweet, like a rum Zacapa or something like that.
Okay.
Or if I'm smoking something like a Zeno, let's just say chubby.
Okay.
I might want something with a little bit more bite to it on the whiskey side because the cigar is so mild and they just blend together. But that's my personal opinion. That's not I'm a connoisseur answer. Everybody like what they like. It's just like drinking. You don't try and keep up with somebody else. You see what I'm saying? You ever had to work late and you get to the party, everybody's been drinking 2 hours before you, then you try and catch up and you get thrown? Okay, cigars are the same way. I smoke what I like. I don't worry about what you like. Because you might like a cigar and I might think it's just okay. I've had $30 cigars that were great. I've had $8 cigars that were better. It just depends on what you like. And I'm a Nicaraguan smoker.
Okay. What's a
And,
Nicaraguan?
where the tobacco comes from. I
Okay.
like Nicaraguan tobacco.
Nicaraguan.
Yeah. In addition to the other cigar uh, tobaccos that I smoke, I prefer Nicaraguan.
Okay, we got a little knowledge on some liquor, whiskey, wine, and cigars. You sure you're not a connoisseur?
Ain't nobody gave me no money.
Jack, you hear that?
Professionals get paid.
Good. Well, you gotta put it out there in the atmosphere,
I'm just,
speak it into the
I'm just
atmosphere.
saying, what's the difference between an athlete and a professional athlete?
Won't get paid.
Professional athlete get paid.
Won't
So
get
I ain't no
paid.
connoisseur. I'm a motherfucker that like smoke a lot.
Listen, hey, it's a lot of things I wish I could get paid for. After this, we might be able to one day, but we're gonna keep at it. So, I want to ask my last few 21 questions, and these are gonna be about bar tips. What are your top pro tips of getting good customer service that people should do at the bar? And what is the absolute worst thing a person should do at the bar?
That's the same answer. Uh, Stop yelling. Stop beating on the bar. Stop waving money at the bartender. Like, we see you, we come, we come. So if you don't do that, you are assured to get great service.
Okay.
If you do that, you are assured to get ignored. So that's the same answer.
Same answer.
Yeah. Have some decorum about yourself.
I
Everybody in here want to drink.
I think I do pretty well.
And tip.
They nice.
Give me some money.
What's the largest tip you ever get?
Shit, man. $500.
Nah.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
So good. I mean, it's money.
It's money.
Yeah, it's money.
It's money.
Yeah.
$500 tip.
Well, I had bartended at a private party. Young man and his fiance were throwing a party.
Okay.
And they had about 100 people there. And he asked me, he said, if you don't put a tip jar out, I'll take care of you. I don't want my guests to feel obligated to tip. I want everything to be free for them.
Right.
At the end of the night, he gave me $500.
There you go. I like that concept.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always kind of wondered about that. I'm like, how do people go about when they have bartenders and stuff at their events? Do they, how do they feel about the tip jar and this and that?
Well, I tell people all the time, like, wedding receptions, you're not going to get a whole lot of tips because no one ever thinks, let me stop by the ATM machine so I can get some money to tip the bartender. Everything is free. So all I got to do is just ask for it. Now, when you go out to a bar or a restaurant establishment, when they give you your change back, you may be like, oh, well, you can have them $3. You know what I'm saying? But in a setting where everything is free, no one has to go in their wallet. They take their drink and they move on.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you had an option of buying the tip jar up front. Like, so say you having 200 guests. And you say, I don't want to put a tip jar out. I say, well, I tell you what, just, give me $400 and we won't put the tip jar out. And they be like, okay. And then we just divide it amongst the staff.
Okay.
That's called buying the tip jar.
Buying the tip jar.
Yeah.
That's another.
The host is paying for the tip jar so the guests don't have to.
I'll be one of those type of hosts. I don't want my guests to feel like they're obligated to do that. And I've always thought about that. I'm not married or nothing. So
pros and cons and everything. There's no greater feeling as a bartender. If I make you a drink and you get the drink, you walk off, you come back and you say, man, I want another one like the other one. Matter of fact, shit, let me give you some money. That right there is synonymous with I did a good job. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you kind of want to receive the tips individually, so you know that you can sit back and see yourself pleasing guests.
Okay.
But if the tip jar is non-existent, you do the exact same job, but you don't get to see the elatedness on their faces and whatnot.
True.
It's not good or bad. It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's one of my little things I've been saying. Like, it is what it is.
I live by that.
You live by that?
I see every situation for what it is and not what I wish it would be or what I want it to be.
Great words. Where you find that on?
That's a Shon Harris original.
Shon Harris.
That's a Shon Harris original.
You know what? I had to be petty. You know I had to be petty.
Petty Crocker, quit making up drama.
I just like to laugh. Anywho, well, Shon, we learned a lot of great things today, and I'm like, morbidly blessed, morbidly just excited, just you blessing me with your presence today.
Man, I didn't do nothing but come to the beck and call of a friend.
That's what we do here, call them friends. And that's my purpose of the table. I like to sit back and converse with people, and especially people that I admire. And conversing with these people have turned into admiration of them and what they're, representing, what they're building. I just believe in we just build together.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of the table. It's just to build together, grow, develop, and
Lay means hour.
our table.
So you ain't know I knew that. Je m'appelle Shon, man. You know what I'm saying? We.
Habla no French.
Did you just Spanish French me?
Yes.
Oh, you a conquistador?
I speak a little Spanglish.
A little bit like a motherfucker.
Watch your mouth. I speak a little.
Oh, this a family show?
Maybe. I don't know.
This a family show?
It's a candid conversation of realness.
Well, y'all never mind the fact that I said motherfucker.
Look at here, Bernie Mac Jr.
That's some nigga shit, ain't it? That's
Bernie
some
Mac
nigga
Jr.
shit that came out of nowhere.
Bernie Mac Jr. We gonna go to conclude on that one. I'm gonna end with one of my favorite quotes by the Walter Payton. When you're good at something, you tell others. When you're great at something, they tell you. And as always, be GOAT today. Check out.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.